Hi, my name's Mark. I'm one of the pastors here at Trillium. We've all been taught that 1 + 1 = 2. But some mathematicians at that very high level of mathematics, that very abstract level, have actually created a mathematical equation that proves that 1 + 1 = 2. It looks like this. Now, does that make your head hurt? Because it makes my head hurt. When I see those really complex mathematical equations, it makes my head hurt. And I stand bewildered before it. I don't really understand what the symbols mean and the logic of it and how it communicates. And I find that a lot of people, when they hear the Bible read or when they read the Bible, they have the same kind of reaction. It's like they're looking at that equation and they just don't really get it at all. And it's not just the Bible. I find all sacred texts are like that, whether it's the Quran, some of the Hindu texts, A Course in Miracles that we do here at Trillium. They're all of that kind of abstract layer, or the language or the philosophy of it is just too hard to get one's head around. And it's a real struggle for us, because what this understanding is trying to bring to us is a different way of seeing, a different way of living, a different way of perceiving reality, a different understanding of the purpose of our lives. And when Jesus comes back to the disciples after his resurrection, it says in the book of Acts that he hung out with them for 40 days before he ascends. And in those 40 days, he instructs them on this other reality. He presents, in a sense, the equation before them. In fact, his very presence is an expression of that equation of life. And they're looking at it, and they're not understanding it. Their minds, their heads must hurt. They're not getting their understanding around it. So that even on the verge of him leaving, there's Peter saying, Lord, is this the time you'll give the kingdom back to Israel? And meaning that, are you going to sit on the throne of David yourself, Jesus, and rule the world? And that's nothing to do with what Jesus is about. He's leaving. He's been trying to help them understand that he needs to depart in order for the space to come that the Spirit can come and live within them. That the genius that lives within him needs to come and live within them too, in order for us to do our lives in a way that has the ultimate sense of meaning for us. And in the book of John, the Gospel of John, in chapters 14 to 17, I think we get the closest to that kind of teaching that Jesus offered to the disciples in that 40-day period between resurrection and ascension. And the whole 4 chapters of the Gospel of John there are about Jesus needing to leave in order that there be space for the Spirit to come and live within inside the disciples. The objective Jesus needs to leave in order that the subjective Christ can come and live inside us. And even that sounds like one of those equations. And when we're going through the chapter 14 of John, I'm watching people as it's read in church, and it looks like they're looking at the equation because they're not getting it any more than the disciples did, or even that sometimes I do when I struggle over it. There's Jesus teaching the disciples about his need to go and his need to leave them. And they want him to stay, really understandably. They want him to stay, and they don't get any of this stuff. And finally, I think it's Thomas that says, Lord, we don't know where you're going. We don't understand the equation. We don't really get any of this stuff. And Jesus says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. That is, I am the equation. You don't have to figure the equation out. It's already been figured out for you. You just got to trust me with the equation. And when I leave, I will send the Spirit to you, and you will understand in this new way. And you can have the confidence to know that when you move in life, the power of the Spirit and the presence of God, the Father, will be with you in all the circumstances of your life. And that's a hard thing to do, just to trust and not try to figure it out exactly for ourselves. We're all caught up in this transactional life where there's immediate cause and effect relationships. For us to let go of the whole transactional life and just open ourselves, our hearts, our minds, our bodies to a presence is really tricky. And yet the invitation's still there for us. I am the equation. I go to the other side. I send the Spirit to you.